Hello everyone, let us start with today unit number 2 of computer graphics, that is introduction to polygon, windowing and clipping. Our syllabus part is divided into two parts. So here is the introduction to polygon and second part is the windowing and clipping. Let us start with the part 1, that is introduction to polygon. So here this part is going to cover introduction to polygon, polygon types. These are nothing but the convex, concave and complex. Then how the polygons are represented, what are the different insight tests, then polygon filling algorithm like seed fill, scan fill and the filling with pattern. Now let us start one by one. First is the polygon. So according to word polygon, it is divided into two parts. First part is the poly and second part that is going to consider as a gon one. So within this polygon, poly means many and gon means angle. It is a Greek word polygon. So the shape which is made up with the many angles is called as a polygon. So polygon is a plane shape with the straight slide. It doesn't have any curve like structure. So here a smiley face is shown and it is itself saying that I am not a polygon. Means what? It is a plane shape with the straight side and there is no any straight side included here. That's why it is not a polygon one. So next to that, definition of polygon. So polygon is any flat shape with minimum three or more sides. This is the first condition. Polygons are closed figure. That is the second condition, which means that the lines are closed and not open. Any of the shape which is having the more than 3 lines and they must be having a closing of that particular loop. These are nothing but your polygon. As per the previous, we are saying that it is a plane shape with the straight side. So each and every shape shown here, these are the example of your polygon. Why? Because these are having the straight sides one. These are having a closed loop also and each of these figure has minimum 3 or more than 3 sides one. That's why these are the polygons one. Next to that, here before starting polygon, we can say here is the polyline one. What is a polyline? It is a chain of connected line segment. Example, this is our polyline. How we are going to call this as a polyline? Because it is a chain of connected line segment. So let us consider P0 to P1, first line segment, P1 to P2, second line segment, P2 to P3, third line segment, P3 to P4, fourth line segment. So 4 line segments are connected to each other. That's why it is called as a polyline. And when in case of such a polyline, the first point and last point are connected to each other, automatically it is going to create a polygon. But the number of line segment, it must be once again more than 3 or equal to 3. So that is need to be remember. When starting and ending point of any polyline is same, when polyline is closed, then it is called as the polygon. Means this P4 is going to connect it to the P0. Both of these are same. At that time we can say it is a polygon one. Next to that, here is the introduction to polygon. So before starting polygon, some basic term. We are familiar with the vertex. Vertex is nothing but a point in the space, either in the 2 dimension or either in the 3 dimension. It is the main geographic object which is used for the interactive graphics. Polyline, as just we have seen, it is the chain of connected line segment. Polygon, when starting point and terminal point of any of the polyline is same, when polyline is closed, then it is called as the polygon. That means we can say as a polygon is the ordered list of vertices in such a way that each of the vertex is connected with the next list. Last is connected with the first and they may contain the self intersections. So if there is a self intersection, then we can call that as a complex one. But if there is a no self intersection, we can call that one as a simple polygon. So let us cover all these types within the next point, that is the types of polygon. So here we are going to start with the types of polygon. First is the simple or complex one. Simple polygon means what? a simple polygon has only one boundary and it does not cross over itself, just like a figure number 1. See here, when this shape is, firstly we have to check whether it is a polygon or not according to our condition. It has the more than or equal to 3 side. So it has the more than 3 sides which are connected to each other and they are forming a closed loop. That means it is a polygon. Now we have to decide whether it is a simple or complex. If the boundary or the edges of this polygon are not going to cross each other, then it is called as the simple one. As shown in the figure, there is no any self interaction, so that's why due to this it is called as the simple polygon one. Now let us take second example. Within the second example, here it is shown as the intersection with each other, means what, the boundary is going to intersect each other, then it is called as the complex. The complex polygon intersect itself. Many rules about the polygon doesn't work when it is a complex one. So this is the example of complex. Here it is the pentagon, here also a pentagon, but the boundary of this pentagon is not going to cross, intersect itself, but here the boundary of this pentagon is going to intersect at this position. That's why this is a simple and this one is the complex polygon. Here are the some examples of simple polygon. Every figure, it is not going to have intersection of its boundary with itself. That's why these are called as the simple polygon. But here, if the boundary of above figure is going to intersect with each other, automatically it is going to convert into a complex polygon. So this is the shown. Figure is the same one. Which one is given here? But this part is going to intersect here. Arrow, it is the same, but when we are going to fold that one, it is going to intersect at this place one. Star, when we are going to take this end at below, it is going to cross itself. That's why it is converted to a complex polygon. So these are the simple polygon and this is the complex polygon. Let us start with the second type, that is the convex versus concave polygon. What do you mean by convex one? A polygon for which any two interior points can be connected by a line segment that stays entirely inside the polygon. So let us take one example. According to our definition of the convex polygon, it is saying that when any two points we are taking as a sample from this polygon boundary, means those points should be belonging to this polygon boundary, and when we are going to connect these two points, at that time one line is formed and that line must be completely lying inside that polygon boundary. Then it is called as the convex one. Otherwise it is called as the concave one. So according to concave polygon, there might be a cave-like structure. So that is nothing but a concave one. A polygon that is not a convex, a line segment connecting two points may pass outside the figure. Here we have seen that these are the 2 points, and when we are going to connect those 2 points by a line segment, that line segment is completely inside the boundary of polygon. But here is not the same case. Means what? Here if we take this as a first point, this as a second point, and when we connect these 2 points, some of the part of line is outside the polygon boundary. Means what? This line segment, it is not completely lying inside the boundary of polygon. That's why it is called as the concave polygon one. So this is the example of convex and this is the example of concave. Let us see some more example. So here convex polygon, here are the first, second, third, fourth, all these shape. So when we are going to take any 2 points which are belonging to this polygon boundary, and when we are going to connect those points, they are completely sure shot underlying inside that of a boundary. That's why these are called as the convex one. But in the above figure, each and every boundary, when we are going to see here, they are having a cave-like structure. Means they are inside one. So when we are going to take any two end point inside this boundary and we try to connect these two end point, at that time some part of that connecting line segment, it may go outside the boundary. That's why this is called as the concave polygon. So these are the few examples of concave polygon, and these are the examples of convex polygon. Let us start with the next type, that is the regular polygon and irregular polygon. So here regular polygon means what? It is a polygon in which all the angles and all the sides are equal. Means what? When the polygon shapes are given to us, within that polygon we have to check whether all the sides of that given polygon are same, and if all the angles which are belonging to that particular polygon are same, then it is called as the regular one. Otherwise it is called as the irregular polygon. So an irregular polygon is a polygon whose sides are not the same length or whose interior angles do not at all have the same measure. Means the angles are going to change as well as the length size is also going to change for this type of a polygon. That's why it is called as the irregular polygon. And those polygons which are having the equal sides length as well as the equal interior angle, then it is called as the regular polygon one. So here polygon type which are included for our syllabus is the convex, concave and the complex, which we have covered. Next to that, is it a polygon? We have to check for that. First, whether it is a polygon or not. So according to given condition, it is made up with the straight lines. It is a straight surface having area. So for that purpose we have to check whether it is a closed loop or not. It is once again a closed loop. Whether it has a 3 or more than 3 line. Yes, it is having a 3 or more than 3, means it has the 4 lines or the edges. That's why it is a correct and it is a polygon one. Now what about this? As we have seen in the definition of polygon, it should not be made up with the curve shape. Here there is a curve shape, that's why it is not a polygon. Now let us consider this example. According to our polygon definition, it is made up with the more than 3 straight lines. It is okay, but one more condition is that it must be a closed loop. Here the closing of loop is not there. Here some space is open. That's why this is also not a polygon one. So here is the summary of polygon. A polygon is a closed figure with 3 or more than 3 sides. When any two interior points of a polygon are connected by a line segment, it stays entirely inside, then it is called as the convex one. If it is not, then it is called as the concave one. Regular polygon which are having the equal side length and equal interior angle measures. But in case of a irregular polygon, these two conditions are not going to satisfy. The polygon, they can be classified by number of sides. Like a 3-sided is called as the triangle, 4-sided is called as the quadrilateral, 5-sided is called as the pentagon, and so on. So these are nothing but the polygons one. Here let us see some of the angle and edges one. So this is nothing but the exterior angle. Let us take this one as a polygon. This is called as the exterior angle. These are nothing but the vertices. For this figure, this is the diagonal one. This is the interior angle, and these are nothing but the sides of that polygon. This is just only for your information. Here representation of polygon. Even though it is not the part of syllabus mentioned, but still you should know all these concepts. So representation of polygon, it is done in the first way. Polygon representation as a ordered list of vertices. Avoids the redundant storage and computation. Associate other information with the vertices like a color, normal, texture, all this information. So here is the one cube is given. For this, if we want to store, it can be stored as given as the faces, or it can be stored as a vertex list. If we are going to have a faces storage, then how many faces that we are going to store? So sidely, first, second, this side is the third, back side is the fourth, top is the fifth, and below is the sixth. So here 6 faces are going to store, and here for each of that face, whatever will be the vertex list belonging, that we are going to store. Suppose first face is this one, so 0, 2, 3, 1, all these are belonging to our 0th face. So here we have mentioned, like similar to that way we have to store all the vertex list for the remaining faces. Now next to that, here we can save in the vertex list form also. Means what? For each of this vertex, what is the value of x, y and z? We can put that. Suppose here is the 0 vertex. For that we have to put value of x, value of y and value of z. Means what? X, y, z coordinate value we can put or consider here for that 0. Similarly, we have to write for the first point, for the second, for the third. In this way we have to write up to the 7. This is the first way for the polygon representation. Now representation of polygon is polygon drawing primitive approach, trapezoid primitive approach, line and point approach. So first is the polygon drawing primitive approach, where on some of the devices polygon is saved as unit. So directly draw polygon shape such as the draw poly. Means what? In many of the devices we can say, if we are typing a command draw poly, directly with our given number of vertices input and those values, it can draw a polygon. So there is no need to give a vertex by vertex information. Means what? Here we are directly writing whatever the number of vertices. Suppose I am writing number of vertices as a 3, then it can directly draw a triangle for me. For that I have to just only put the values of those 3 points, coordinate 1. So here polygon drawing primitive approach, it is directly drawn along with the draw poly. Second one is the trapezoid primitive approach, where these are formed from 2 scanline segment. Here these are given as the scanline segment. So such a part they are going to create one given polygon. So trapezoids are drawn by stepping down the line segment. Each of this line, it can be stepped down so as to create such a type of a shape one. Line and point approach, where it is going to used most of the graphics devices, they do not provide any of the polygon support at all. Means every device, they are not going to have such a facility if we are putting a command draw poly and they are drawing polygon for us. So in that case we can make use of line and point approach. So in such cases polygon can be broken down into number of lines, points, and these are stored, the full polygon, in the display file, which is the most important concept. The display polygon is then done using the line commands. So in opcode number of line segment is mentioned. Means what? Here the commands are mentioned, here the x value is given and here is the y. So dfop, so that is nothing but the display file opcode. dfx means display file x value, dfy means display file y coordinate value. Suppose we are starting with the first 0, 2. So that should be mentioned here 0, 2. And every time whenever we are starting with the first coordinate value, we have to mention number of vertices. So 6 is nothing but the number of vertices. First, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. That's why we have written here 6. And here is the 0, 2 means this is the first vertex. Now next to that we want to draw a line. That's why here display file opcode 2 indicate that drawing line command. So that's why we are writing 2. Towards which from 0 to 2 we want to draw a line towards the 0, 4. That's why x value is written as a 0, y value is written as a 4. Means from 0 to 204 it will draw a line. Next from 04 to 46. So once again we want to draw the line. For that purpose we are writing 2 towards the point 46. So here 4, 6 is there. Similarly to draw the line towards the 6, 4. That's why once again 2 and end coordinates are x and y, 6, 4. Then 6, 2. Here is 6, 2. Next to that there is a 4, 0. So here is the 4, 0. And up to the last we have to complete a closed loop. That's why once again we are writing here 0, 2. This is nothing but a line and point approach by making the use of your display file. So here opcode command, if we want to move our cursor position, it is the 1. If we want to draw a line, 2, which is already we have used here to draw a line. Third, that is for plotting. These are the sample opcode command which are used for the display file. So let us start with the inside test. Here mainly we want to check why it is required. When we want to fill, when we want to color any of the pixels which are inside the polygon, then there is a need to check whether the point is inside a polygon, outside a polygon. For that purpose, there is a need to check for inside test. What is the inside of polygon? Means within our eye, we can say that with whether the point is belonging to that boundary of a polygon or not, whether it is a inside or whether it is a outside. But the computer is a dumb machine, it is not knowing, so there is a need to give some of the condition 1, test 1. That's why there is a use of your inside test. There are two types of this inside test. One is the even odd method and second one is the binding number method. So first, inside test. Once the polygon is entered in the display file, we can draw the outline of polygon. To show the polygon as a solid object, means filled object, we have to set the pixel inside the polygon as well as the pixels which are on the boundary. But those which are outside the boundary, we cannot consider the part of this polygon 1. Now the question is how to determine whether or not a point is inside the polygon boundary or whether it is outside. So inside test determine whether a point which is to be tested is inside or outside the polygon by making the use of following method. Means with even odd method and binding number method. So let us start with the even odd. One simple method of doing this is to construct a line segment between the point in the question and a point known to be outside the polygon. In this method, number of intersection area counted. If there are odd number of intersection 1, 3, 5, then the point is inside. Now inside the polygon, and if there are the even number of intersection 2, 4, 6 like this, we are getting answer, then point is outside. This method is known as counting number method. So here example, let us start. This is the point which we want to check whether it is inside the polygon or outside. This is nothing but the boundary of your polygon, and with our eye we can say that this point is sure shot outside. But the dumb machine doesn't know, computer doesn't know whether it is inside this boundary or whether it is outside. For that purpose we want to check that with the even odd method. According to our even odd method, what we want to do? We have to firstly draw a line segment between the point in the question and a point known to be outside. So here this is the point which is given in the question. We have to construct a line with the one point which is sure shot outside the boundary. So suppose we are considering this one as the outside point. This is the question point. We have connected these two one, and when we are going to connect these two one, it is going to create one line segment. Now next to that, we have to check number of intersection area counted. Now here we want to check number of intersection area. So this is the first one, this is the second one. First intersection, second intersection of this connected line with the polygon boundary one. So if our answer is 2, then we have to check whether it is an odd number or whether it is an even number. 2, it is a even number. If it is even, then point is outside. So here we can say the point is outside by making the use of your even odd method. Now let us take one more example. This is the example 1. We want to check whether this point is inside or outside. Now take this as a question point, this one as the outside point, construct a line segment and check the number of intersection with the boundary one. So intersection is at only one time. So one is even or odd, that we want to check. One is obviously a odd number. If the odd number of intersection, point is inside, and here we can say point is inside. Now let us take one more example. Go for this one. This is the point which we want to check. Here this is the question point. Here is the one sure shot outside point. Construct a line in between these two and count the number of intersection for this polygon boundary. So for this boundary, first intersection. For this boundary, second intersection. And for this boundary, third intersection. 3 is nothing but a odd number. And if it is an odd number, then the point is inside. So we can say this point is inside. Now let us take one more example, last example. Here is the one point which we want to identify. The point is inside the polygon boundary or whether it is the outside the polygon boundary. So take this one as a question point, this one as a sure shot outside point. Construct a line between these two line segment and identify the number of intersection with the boundary. So this is the first intersection, this is the second intersection, 1 and 2. Our number of intersection with the polygon boundary, these are 2. 2 is a even number. If it is a even number, the point is outside. So here we can say point is surely outside. This is nothing but a even odd method. But this method has the problem one. If our point is going to have an intersection of that line with the vertex one, then what will be the case? How many times that need to be counted? If this is a simple, then there is a no problem. Here we can say odd intersection, so that's why point is inside. If there is a even intersection, the point is outside. But if the point intersection with that polygon boundary is for the vertex, then that is a special case which need to be considered. How many times that intersection need to be counted is called as the special case. So we have to handle those special cases in the even odd method. So if the intersection point is a vertex of polygon, then we have to look after other endpoints of the two segments which meet at this vertex. Means if these points lie on the same side of the constructed line, then the point in the question counts as a twice of the intersection. If they are lying on the opposite side of the constructed line, then the point is counted as a single. Means what is the meaning of this slide? We will see. So here the complete theoretical part is explained with the figure. So here is the line, here is the vertex. If this is your intersection point, and if both of these are underlying on the same side of that edge, intersection edge, at that time we have to count that twice one. This is the example. Suppose this is the line that we have constructed. We want to check this point is inside or outside. For that purpose, this is the outside point we have considered. This is the question point. If our point intersection line, it is going to intersect at the vertex one, and for this vertex, both these polygon edges, they are underlying on the same side. So we have to count that as a twice. So here 2 and here 1 intersection, 2 plus 1, answer will be 3. And if answer is 3, it is an odd number, and if it is an odd number, the point is sure shot inside one. Now the second special case is shown here. Means what? If our line is intersecting with the vertex one. Okay, so here if it is going to intersect at the vertex point and both the edges of the polygon are underlying opposite, this is the first edge and this is the second edge, both of these are on the opposite side of that intersection line, then we have to count that only once. So here if this is a point given in the question, this is the sure shot outside point, then we are drawing the line. At the time, this we have to count as only once. So here only one intersection, that is once again an odd number, means it is a inside one. So this is the way in which we can handle the special cases one. Means what? If the edges of the polygon boundary, whether at the vertex point intersection is there, then only we have to check whether the edges of this polygon boundary are on the same side of this given intersection line or whether they are on the opposite side of this intersection line. According to that, we have to count as a twice or as a once. If on the same side, means just like this one, then we have to consider intersection count as a 2 and here intersection count as a 1. So 2 plus 1, it will become as a 3. Here in this case only we have to consider the opposite side. That's why intersection is only once. So that is given as a special cases in the even odd method. Let us take example. So these are the special cases. Here is the vertex. Here is the question point which need to be determined inside or outside. Consider question point, consider outside point, draw a line in between these two. Our intersection of this drawn line with the polygon edge is at vertex point, and according to our previous this special case handling, it is underlying on the both side of intersection line. This is our intersection line, this is the first edge, this is the second edge, as these are underlying on the both side. So according to that we have to count only once. Here is the one time intersection. If intersection is odd number, then point is sure shot inside. That's why it is going to consider as a inside. Let us take one more example. Here is the example. Question point, whether this point is inside or outside. Take this as a question point, this point as a sure shot outside point. Connect these 2 points. Now here, according to our special case, our intersection line is going through the vertex, and for this intersection line, both the edges of the polygon boundary are going to underline on the same side. This is our intersection line and both these edges are underlying on the upside. Means what? We have to count those as a twice. So here 2 time intersection, and go ahead, here is a one more intersection, 2 plus 1. It is giving answer as a 3, and 3 is nothing but a odd number. If it is odd, then we have to consider this point as a inside one. So here is the end of your even odd method. Second one is the winding number method. Winding number method means what? Here, just like your even odd number, we have to give every side has given a number which is called as the winding number. Total of this winding number is called as the net winding. If the net winding is 0, then point is outside, otherwise it is inside. Here we have to convert our given polygon figure into a directed graph one. Means in given figure you have to just only add the arrows or the direction one. If let us assume that if the arrow is downward, then we are counting that as a +1. If arrow is in the upside direction, we are assuming as a -1. Suppose this is the line which is connecting to that of a given question point and the point which is surely outside that of a polygon boundary one. So you can write this assumption. Now let us start with this one. Winding number method, the direction number is given to all polygon edges which indicates the direction. They give the direction number, down arrow as a 1, up arrow as a -1. We have to take sum of these direction numbers of those lines which are crossed by construction line, that is drawn from the point in the question. So the sum is called winding number of that point. The point is said to be inside when the value of winding number is non-zero. Means what? When we are having winding number answer as a 0, the point as a inside, otherwise it is the outside one. So let us take example. Here is the polygon, same example that we have considered, only here we have given arrow, that means direction to each of that of a polygon edge. So along with this direction, here the down arrow as a plus, If there is a up arrow, we can consider as a minus. Here is the minus given because it is a up arrow. Here we are writing a plus because it is a down arrow, and we have given number to that of only intersection edges 1. Those which are get intersected, only for those edges we have given a number. So here is the point xa ya which we want to determine inside or outside with the winding number method, and here is the point which is sure shot outside. Construct a line in between question point and the point which is sure shot outside. Now to the polygon boundaries where it is going to intersect, just only consider those edges and write the winding numbers. So down arrow is there, we have to mention +1. So here is the down arrow, +1. Here is the up arrow, that's why -1. Now we have to just take the addition of all these 1 minus 1 plus 1. So here we are getting answer as a 1. If the number is non-zero, then the point is inside. Our answer we are getting as a 1. If it is 1, means it is a non-zero. If answer is a non-zero, then point is sure shot inside the given polygon boundary. This is nothing but a winding number method. So it has also the special cases which need to be handled like that of your even odd number. So let us stop here.